Joining me now, Colombia's former defense minister and former ambassador to the U.S., Juan Carlos Pinzon. He is also now an opposition leader and candidate for president. Thanks so much for joining the show again. It's good to have you back.
Thank you, Jim. Good to see you.
So quite a meeting today, considering all the public back and forth in recent months. How did they manage, in your view, to turn down the temperature?
Well, first of all, it's a good news that my country, Colombia, and the United States are not anymore in such tension and such deterioration of relations. But it's sad to see that it's just happening after so many things, so many provocations from President Petro, and sadly, the expansion of organized crime in my own country. You know, we have seen an increase in cocaine business, in illegal mining, and honestly, in all kinds of violence. We have more homicides this year than before. We have more kidnappings, more terrorist actions, and more difficulty than before. And that's very, very sad. Now, on the other side, all these meeting happens after the events in Caracas, where Maduro was captured and sent to prison in the United States. So my concern, and to see the future, what I expect as future president of Colombia, is really to have a relationship of partnership in which we discuss on trade, investment, technology, critical minerals, education, and honestly, national security, but in the sense that we need to increase our capabilities and effectiveness against crime in my own country, in Colombia, to protect, first of all, my own citizens, and because of that, citizens of the whole hemisphere.
Is that what you believe President Trump is offering to Colombia? I mean, following that operation in Venezuela, Trump says he runs Venezuela now and seems to be controlling Venezuelan oil revenue. Does the U.S. offer, in your view, Colombia a partnership or ownership?
Well, my expectation is that Colombia will be never run by anybody other than what our people decides in democracy. So that's why we need to make a change in Colombia. If we continue to have this sentiment of expansion of crime, it's not only very bad for Colombians, but it has created this crisis that we have been in the recent times. So honestly, we need to have a big change in Colombia. We need to have a strength. I very recently presented even a plan to confront crime, zero tolerance with crime, and the end of fear for Colombians. And that's what we're trying, to think on how to expand the armed forces, to strengthen our justice system, and to really go after criminals. But at the end, what are we hoping and we're expecting? Increased investment in the country, increased tourism, and really get a better condition of life for Colombians. And definitely the United States will always be a great partner of Colombia. That's why, honestly, I feel very sad just to see how far the deterioration of the relationship went, and why we need to, use what is going on right now to, in 6 months, where a new government starts, really have a different time, a different tone, a different reality.
The last time we spoke, you said that President Petro has created a difficult situation for Colombia by aligning with Maduro, and have since warned that Petro risks another Venezuela. Do you believe Colombia needs new leadership to manage the relationship with the U.S.?
Oh, definitely. And that's why I expect Jim to come as president elected next May, to take power on August the 7th. We need a president that can really lead the armed forces, lead the security capabilities, but also be a partner of global leaders and connect Colombia in a way that we can really not only cooperate in security and confront global transnational crime, but at the same time create the conditions for making Colombia this global partner that allows our people to be part of multiple layers of development and opportunity. And as political as I might be sounding, I'm telling you, Colombia has a lot to offer to the world and a big opportunity, but we really need to be aware that if we don't confront crime, terrorism, our country is not only suffering and struggling, but is getting a lot of negative energy and tension worldwide.
President Trump, as you know, arrested the leader of Venezuela, hasn't shown a great deal of urgency about elections there. Right now, he's selected, it seems, Maduro's vice president to run the country. He intervened financially in Argentina's election by giving an enormous bailout, in part, it seems, to help his friend Milei there. Are you confident that President Trump would allow Colombia, the Colombian people, to choose their own leader, or that he might express or attempt to his own preferences or attempt to influence the outcome?
Well, the reality is very simple. It's Colombian people that can choose the next president of Colombia. We have the longest standing democracy in the Western Hemisphere with the United States. And because of that, we need to keep that democracy operating. The current risk to our democracy is the influence of organized crime in our lives, in some territories that have been under their control. And that's where we really need to focus. So at the times that are coming, we need to really confront that crime. We need the cooperation with the United States as we had in the past. And that's the best way to really move forward and really guarantee our own sovereignty. And by doing that, really working on behalf or on the benefit of our own people in Colombia. So really, we need to move forward. We really need to, use this moment maybe to hopefully end the deterioration of relationship. But really, we need a change in Colombia. That's what I'm working for. That's what I'm trying right now.
Juan Carlos Pinzon, pleasure to have you back on the program.
Thank you, Jim. It has been a pleasure.